Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Iris Sirianni. I am a self-love coach. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. And if you are a returning watcher, I am so happy that you're here. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 things that you need to know that could help you become your best self and help you step into being the next version of yourself. And they're all related to the November Beaver Full Moon. So in general, when we think about full moons are about illumination. And when things are hidden and then they become illuminated, it allows us to have transformation. It indicates the completion of things. It's also a time of fertility and for abundance. So the Beaver Full Moon, on top of all of that, reminds us to prepare for the upcoming fall and winter. The Beaver Full Moon is also associated with our feelings, our intuition, and all of our inner work. It's very much water fluid energy. And this particular full moon is about protection, preparation, reflection, and letting go. So let's look into each one of those and see how you can apply that full moon energy into your life. So at this particular time of year, in the fall time, beavers have already started to prepare for the colder months coming up. So they work in collaboration with other beavers to build a dam, to build a nesting place so that they can go underground and be with their own community in a safe environment, underground, warm and cozy, not in the way that we know warm and cozy, but very much related to warm and cozy. So they are now preparing for the cold and winter by creating a dam that is going to protect them perhaps from predators, but also protect their home and their little space as they move about far below the snow and the frost. And so they're safe and protected down there as they wait out those cold winter months. In a lot of ways, we are also doing that. We have Thanksgiving coming up, we have Christmas coming up, and we are also preparing to get together with family and friends. That's that abundance energy. It's about allowing ourselves to create a safe and cozy, warm environment that's going to be spent, hopefully for you, it will be spent with family and friends. So in these 2 ways, we can look at the full moon energy as beginning to prepare for the winter months, the festivities, the creating that warmth and safety, and also being prepared for the winter months. What do you need to prepare for? Maybe in your physical environment, but also what about your internal environment? What are you preparing for? What new seeds might you be thinking that you want to plant in preparation for what you might want to do in the new year? Not New Year's resolution, but preparation after a letting go, perhaps. And we're going to talk about the letting go process here straight away. As I mentioned, this time of year, we are getting ready to go inwards, be warm and cozy. And it's also a time for reflection, a reflection of how things have been for us perhaps in the entire year. How have you grown? How have you changed? How have you transformed? What have you learned about yourself this past year? What have you accomplished this year? What abundance and blessings have come into your life as a result of all of the inner work that you have done? What have you been able to manifest this year? And what challenges have you overcome? Not very often do we really sit and contemplate about our growth and all of the many changes that we've made throughout the year. And this is a great time of year to do that, as we're putting away the summer things and really stepping into fall. The leaves have fallen off the trees, most of the trees in North America, as it's already starting to get very cold, and it's that part of that letting go process. But I think it's really important to look back, to reflect back on our own personal growth and our own inner transformation, and then to be able to acknowledge all of the changes, all of the work we've done. And sometimes the work is really, really challenging. And other times we're not in that growth cycle where we experience huge upheaval in our life that does cause big transformation. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't acknowledge the little things that we have done in order to make space for new things to come into our lives. And there's a process then of letting go. And that's the second part of this. We've got the acknowledgement of our growth and our transformation. And every time we grow and transform, it means that we're also letting go of things. And sure, letting go can be of physical things. You may have moved, you may have sold things. That's part of letting go as well. But the meaningful thing, the very deep, meaningful things are related to the inner work that you've done. So letting go for me requires that you acknowledge all of the accomplishments, all of the little things that you've done, all of the hard work, all of the tears and the frustration, and all of the coaching that you've done, and all of the books that you've read that have helped you along the way, all of the YouTube videos that have helped you and supported you in moving forward in your life and feeling your best self. And sometimes it's hard to let go of something that you have no awareness that you've even transformed from. So for example, maybe you have transformed some old habits of thought. Maybe you have transformed something of a codependent relationship, or maybe you are ready to let go of unhealthy habits. All of these transformations are then have an associated something that you're ready to let go of. And sometimes letting go can be very scary because it puts us in this space in between where you're not who or where you used to be, but you haven't quite fully stepped into the new you and what that means for your life. So for me, a lot of times letting go is more of an awareness of how you changed and seeing who you used to be versus who you are now. That is a gradual evolution of letting go and really embracing who you have become and who you are becoming versus cutting things off or cutting things out of your life. And there's a time and a place. We cut things out of our life all of the time. But for me, letting go is more of a gentle process of awareness of how you changed and what you're ready now to release. So what are you ready to let go of? So if you looked back to the questions about how you have grown, what have you experienced, what have you accomplished this year, if you look at all of those questions, it's going to have the opposite of, if I've created this, that means that there's part of me that is ready to be released. So what part of you are you now ready to let go of? So for example, if you went to a rehab facility this year to deal with a substance abuse or PTSD, for example, there's always an underlying issue as to what caused you to get to the place where you needed to go to rehab or go to treatment. Yes, for whatever you're experiencing in terms of substance abuse, but there's always something deeper underneath it, and it usually has something to do with worth or value. So as you have been healing through that process of going to treatment, perhaps you now see yourself as a non-drinker. So you've created a new identity around being a non-drinker, living a healthier lifestyle, and also seeing your value and your worth. So those are all deep inner work and deep inner healing. There's also a part of you, the old you, that used to have the patterns of thought of feeling unworthy and not being valuable or having nothing to contribute and feeling very depressed. There's a part of you, an identity, an old way of thinking, an old thought process that you had that you are now ready to let go of. You are no longer that person. You have evolved into a new person. So if you look at how you've grown, it's always going to mean that there has been some type of transformation. Another example would be is if you left an abusive relationship this year. You would have been going through a healing process to understand what is it or what was it that found you in that abusive relationship to begin with. There's deep healing around relationships and how we allow ourselves to be drawn into toxic abusive relationships. So you have been working on healing what got you into those relationships in the first place. Now you're coming to a point where you love yourself, you see your worth, you see your value, and your thought patterns are changing, and you're now surrounding yourself with other people who also love themselves, because people who love themselves will always attract other people who love themselves, and people who don't hold themselves in high value, high self-worth, self-love, self-esteem will also attract people who are on that same vibration, who haven't been able to heal and to come to a place of loving themselves, because hurt people hurt other people. So there's a part of you now that is ready to let go of an identity that once was, because you've healed that, and now you're stepping into being this next amazing version of yourself. So those are just two examples, and you can apply the same concept into anything that you've done this year in terms of your own inner work and your own inner healing. And it doesn't mean that the transformation is complete. You can still be working on it, but the point that I want to make to you here is that you embrace the energy of this particular full moon. Take the time to look back and see how far you've come, and really be proud of everything that you've done, even if you're still a work in progress. Aren't we all a work in progress? But acknowledge it and bask in the glow and the warmth of this fall and winter season, and start to plant seeds for abundance and new fertile creative ideas to blossom. Take time to rest, take time to rejuvenate, and just enjoy this full moon energy. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you like it, like this video. If you like my content, subscribe to my channel. And also, I have created a very short self-love quiz that you can take that will just show you where you are on your self-love journey. And until the next video, take good care, and I am sending you so much love.